gentleman from Missouri is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have to say I agree with a lot of what my colleague, Mr. Moskowitz, just said, and I think it is a lot of the hatred and division is driven by social media, by this, especially since COVID, and I believe our foreign adversaries in many times are intervening, and I believe the algorithms are driving our young people particularly into more and more extreme views, and that's sowing social division, and that is not good for anyone other than our foreign adversaries. But Mr. Chairman, thank you for holding this committee. It is truly astounding to me the lengths to which the Southern Poverty Law Center has gone to preserve its relevance. And I think it's telling that at this, our second hearing about the Southern Poverty Law Center, my Democrat colleagues have not called someone from SPLC to defend themselves. In fact, the previous Democrat witness, very similar to the witness today, just over and over again, well, I don't speak for the SPLC. Well, why are you here then? Look, an organization that was ostensibly committed to advancing civil rights should strive to make its own intervention less necessary by encouraging productive dialogue and fostering equal treatment under the law, rather than continually framing disagreements through the lens of racial animosity. If the SPLC were serious about dismantling hate, it would not be funding it, nor would it be engaging in conduct that promotes division for institutional or political gain. Mr. O'Neill, is it a common practice? You've written a lot about nonprofit organizations or NGOs. Is it a common practice for NGOs to channel money through intermediaries, entities in ways that obscure the ultimate recipient or purpose of those funds?
Yes, to some degree. There is dark money funding through, and this happens on both the right and the left.
Sure.
You have groups like 1630 Fund and the Tides Foundation that seem set up to hide which donors are funding which projects.
Okay. And are there legal or ethical issues with this? This, I don't know, money laundering, if you will?
That's a complicated question.
Yeah.
It is not money laundering.
Yes.
There is a very important First Amendment right established and upheld through NAACP v. Alabama and most recently AFP v. Bonta that Americans have the right to give to causes they believe in.
Yeah.
That said, there are questions about this cloaking of dark money. Right. What is not covered in this is lying to a bank by saying you established an account for one purpose and then using it for another.
Yes. Okay. Does the SPLC reveal what the criteria or metrics are to determine which organizations or individuals are included in their hate map?
They claim to, yes. They have
because when
very weaselly language. They say when a group vilifies other people, typically by their immutable characteristics, but they use the word typically because they have anti-immigrant hate groups.
Yes.
And so your immigration status is not an immutable characteristic.
So FAIR, Center for Immigration Studies,
correct.
I've studied their work quite a bit, and all I see is a desire to enforce federal immigration law, but somehow that makes you a hate group. Well, let's go to someone right here. Dr. Swain, are you an apologist for white supremacists?
I don't think so. I try to stand up for all Americans. I believe in the Civil Rights Act and the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. It applies to all races, and in America, we should not be discriminating for or against any group.
So you have a dream that someday your young children would be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the quality of their character.
Yes.
I don't know. I think if someone says something like that, they would be labeled a hate group by the SPLC, maybe.
Probably.
Probably. I think you said it very, very well, Dr. Swain, that rather than monitoring hate groups, the Southern Poverty Law Center has become one.
And that was 2009. And I had been a Democrat all of my life. And so Well, at that time, I was about ready to make a transition, but
So that was 2009.
Yes,
In the last
2009.
17 years, has anything changed your mind about SPLC?
I was ahead of my time.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.